Hey everyone, welcome to the Glow Grow Goal channel, your go-to channel for personal development and life transformation. Today, we're diving into a transformative approach to communication that can change the way you handle conflicts, nonviolent communication. Developed by psychologist Marshall Rosenberg, this powerful framework emphasizes empathy, compassion, and understanding in our interactions. In his book, Nonviolent Communication, A Language of Life, Rosenberg outlines how our communication styles can either foster connection or create barriers. While nonviolent communication applies to various aspects of our lives, today we'll focus specifically on the art of resolving conflicts without judgment and blaming. Imagine navigating disagreements in a way that leaves everyone feeling heard and respected. That's what nonviolent communication offers. Throughout this video, we'll explore key principles and practical steps to help you transform conflict into an opportunity for growth and connection. Nonviolent communication is more than just a technique. It's a mindset that encourages us to connect with our true feelings and needs while respecting those of others. At its core, nonviolent communication is built on four essential components: observation, feeling, need, and request, often referred to as the OFNR model. These components serve as the foundation for effective communication, helping us navigate conflicts with empathy and understanding. Now let's explore each component in the following illustration. Number 1. Observation. This involves stating what you see or hear without any judgment or evaluation. If you feel upset because your children throw their shoes in the hallway instead of keeping them in the shoe rack, don't say, "You never keep your shoes." Instead, say, "I noticed your shoes are left in the hallway again after you came home from school." This simple shift helps avoid defensiveness. Number 2. Feeling. Express how you feel in response to the observation. Rather than saying, "You make me upset," try saying, "I feel frustrated when I see shoes scattered in the hallway because it makes it hard for me to walk through the house." This allows others to understand your emotional state without feeling attacked. Number 3. Need. Identify the underlying needs connected to your feelings. Instead of saying, "You need to be more responsible," consider saying, "I need a clear path in our home so I can move around safely without worrying about tripping." This highlights what is important to you rather than placing blame. Number 4. Request. Make a clear request for what you would like to happen next. Rather than demanding compliance by saying, "You must clean up after yourself," you could say, "Would you be willing to put your shoes in the shoe cupboard when you come home so we can keep the hallway clear?" This invites collaboration rather than resistance. By practicing these components consistently, we can engage in dialogue that fosters understanding rather than defensiveness. This approach can significantly change how we resolve conflicts and strengthen our relationships over time. One of the fundamental principles of nonviolent communication is the emphasis on human connection. When conflicts arise, it's easy to get caught up in our positions and lose sight of our shared humanity. Nonviolent communication encourages us to remember that behind every disagreement lies a set of unmet needs. For example, during a disagreement about finances, don't say, "You always spend too much money." Instead, express it as, "I feel anxious when I see unexpected expenses pop up, because I need financial stability for our future plans together." This way, you're sharing your feelings while inviting dialogue about needs. By focusing on these needs rather than the conflict itself, we can create a safe space for dialogue. This involves recognizing that everyone involved has feelings and needs that deserve respect and understanding. Imagine two friends who are on vacation in Japan for the first time. They are excited to explore local cuisine. However, one friend wants pizza while the other is eager to try sushi, since they've heard so much about it being fresh and authentic in Japan. Instead of saying, "Your choice is boring," one friend could say, "I feel really excited about trying sushi here in Japan because I've heard it's so fresh and delicious. Would you be open to going to a sushi restaurant this time?" This way, one friend expresses their feelings and enthusiasm for local cuisine while inviting their friend to consider their suggestion, fostering a collaborative conversation rather than a conflict. In essence, fostering human connection through nonviolent communication not only helps resolve conflicts but also strengthens relationships over time. It transforms adversarial interactions into opportunities for growth and mutual understanding. Now let's dive into the 5 steps of resolving conflicts using nonviolent communication. Step number 1. Express your own needs. Start by clearly stating your feelings and needs related to the conflict. Use I statements to take ownership of your emotions without blaming others. For example, rather than saying, "You never respect my time," which blames the other person, try saying, "I feel frustrated when meetings run over time because I need structure in my day to manage my other responsibilities." This approach fosters an atmosphere of respect. Step number 2. Identify the other person's needs. Shift your focus to understanding the other person's perspective. Ask open-ended questions like, "What do you need in this situation?" This shows that you value their feelings and needs as well. Step number 3. Verify mutual understanding. Before moving forward, ensure both parties understand each other's feelings and needs clearly. Reflect back what you've heard, like saying, "So what I hear is that you feel pressured because you need more time to complete your tasks." This approach avoids assuming their feelings or making judgments about their capabilities. Step number 4. Provide empathy. Offer empathy by acknowledging their feelings without trying to fix them immediately. You might say, "I can see how stressful this must be for you given all your responsibilities." This validation can help lower defenses and promote openness. Step number 5. Propose strategies that meet everyone's needs. Finally, brainstorm solutions together that address both parties' needs. For example, instead of demanding compliance by saying, "You need to finish this report by Friday," try asking, "Would it be possible for you to complete this report by Friday? That would really help me plan my next steps." By following these steps systematically, conflicts can be transformed into constructive conversations where both parties feel valued and respected. Active listening is a crucial skill in nonviolent communication that enhances conflict resolution efforts. It involves fully concentrating on what the other person is saying rather than simply waiting for your turn to speak. By honing this skill, you can create a safe space for open dialogue, allowing both parties to feel heard and understood. Here are some practical ways to practice active listening. Number 1. Be present. Eliminate distractions during conversations so that you can focus entirely on the speaker. This means putting away your phone, turning off notifications, and making eye contact to show that you are engaged. For instance, if you're having a conversation with a friend at a cafe, try to minimize background noise by choosing a quieter spot and actively listening to what they're saying. By being fully present, you not only demonstrate respect but also create a deeper connection, allowing for more meaningful dialogue. Number 2. Reflect back. After they share their thoughts or feelings, paraphrase what they said to confirm your understanding. For example, instead of dismissing their concerns by saying something like, "Just deal with it," try reflecting back with, "It sounds like you're feeling overwhelmed because there's too much on your plate right now with work and family obligations." Number 3. Avoid interrupting. Allow them to finish their thoughts before responding. This shows respect for their perspective and encourages open communication. Interrupting can make the other person feel undervalued or dismissed. For example, during a team meeting, if a colleague is sharing their ideas about a project, resist the urge to jump in with your own thoughts until they have completed their point. Instead, listen attentively and take notes if needed. Empathy goes hand in hand with active listening. It involves not only hearing but also feeling what the other person is experiencing emotionally. You might say something like, "I can imagine how frustrating this must be for you given everything you're juggling right now." This kind of empathetic response fosters trust and openness. Both active listening and empathy create an environment where individuals feel safe expressing themselves without fear of judgment or retaliation, which are key elements for effectively resolving conflicts. Criticism often escalates conflicts rather than resolving them. However, nonviolent communication offers tools to transform criticism into compassionate dialogue. For instance, instead of pointing fingers or making accusatory statements like, "You never listen," you can reframe your message using the following nonviolent communication principles. Number 1. Use I statements. Start with how you feel rather than blaming others. Instead of saying, "You don't care about my input," express it as, "I feel unheard when my ideas aren't acknowledged during team meetings because I value collaboration." Number 2. Focus on specific behaviors. Address specific actions rather than generalizing about someone's character or intentions. Instead of saying, "You're irresponsible," try saying, "I noticed that deadlines were missed last week, which impacted our project timeline." Number 3. Express your needs clearly. Share what need is unmet due to their behavior without making demands. Instead of saying, "You should have told me sooner," consider saying, "I need clear communication so we can work effectively together moving forward." Number 4. Make requests instead of demands. Ask for what would help improve the situation rather than demanding compliance. This invites cooperation rather than resistance. By reframing criticism into compassionate communication using these strategies, individuals can address issues constructively without escalating tensions. Nonviolent communication isn't just beneficial in personal relationships, it has practical applications across various settings. Workplace conflicts. In professional environments, nonviolent communication can help resolve misunderstandings between colleagues by fostering open dialogue about expectations and responsibilities. For example, addressing miscommunications about project deadlines directly instead of letting frustrations build up over time. Family dynamics. Within families, using nonviolent communication promotes healthier discussions around disagreements, whether it's about parenting styles or household responsibilities, leading to stronger family bonds. For instance, discussing chores openly instead of assigning blame when tasks are neglected helps everyone feel involved. Community engagement. In community settings or social activism, nonviolent communication encourages constructive conversations around differing viewpoints, while focusing on shared goals rather than divisive rhetoric. An example would be facilitating discussions between community members with varying opinions on local policies, while emphasizing common values such as safety or community well-being. Educational settings. Teachers can use nonviolent communication techniques with students to create a more inclusive classroom environment, where everyone feels valued and respected. For instance, encouraging students to express their feelings during group projects instead of letting tensions escalate silently fosters collaboration among peers. By applying nonviolent communication principles across these diverse contexts, individuals can foster environments conducive to understanding and cooperation. Practicing nonviolent communication consistently may take time as we adjust our habits, but will eventually become second nature if we keep working on it. In conclusion, nonviolent communication offers powerful tools for resolving conflicts without judgment and blaming by fostering empathy and understanding among all parties involved. By practicing observation, expressing feelings and needs clearly, actively listening with compassion, and transforming criticism into constructive dialogue, we can navigate disagreements more effectively. As Marshall Rosenberg emphasized in his book, every conflict presents an opportunity for connection if approached with an open heart and mind. Remember that practicing these skills takes time, but will ultimately lead us toward more peaceful interactions. What challenges have you faced when trying to communicate nonviolently? How have you successfully resolved conflicts in your own life? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. And if you found value in this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more insightful content. Thank you.